out of nowhere, we are joined by the head coach of the El Paso Del Valle Conquistadors. We're joined by Coach Jesse Perales. Coach, how are you?
Hey, doing great, man. How you guys doing?
I understand you're in our neck of the woods. You're in the DFW area for a baseball tournament?
Yeah, my youngest son was playing in a baseball tournament up in Frisco.
Okay. All right, and give us a scouting report on your youngest son, because I'll tell you, Max is a former college baseball player, so so he can get him places.
Yeah, let's hear about the tools.
Yeah.
You know, he's pretty good. He had a good tournament. He's been playing some good baseball as of late, but he's got a long way to go. A long way to go.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your Conquistadors. You know, last year, another solid year, making the playoffs, 7-1 in district play. You guys have been consistently one of the teams to be feared in El Paso. How do you do that? What's the secret behind such consistent success in a place that really is not used to consistent winners?
You know, I think it's just really the culture that we've established over the long haul, and then obviously the consistency in coaches. We haven't had a lot of turnover. Mm-hmm. They get head jobs somewhere within the city, and so we've been able to keep our staff together, or the majority of our staff together, and I think it's paid off pretty well for us.
How do you do that? I mean, you know, that's an interesting question that you brought up, because you're exactly right, especially in El Paso. If you are a top-notch assistant, you're going to get plucked. You're going to get noticed pretty quickly, and you're going to get plucked and get an opportunity at a head coaching job. How do you do that? How do you convince these guys that, hey, you know, this is the place to be for the long haul?
Well, we've been very fortunate. Mm-hmm. We've won, and coaches know if they come to our program and you know, pay their dues, they'll get looked at as head coaches. We've lost 3 guys over the last few years to head coaching positions, but we pulled up from the middle schools. Mm-hmm. Our middle school coaches become freshman coaches, then on to JV and varsity, and so we try and keep it in-house as much as possible. And I think coaches appreciate that, and they appreciate the loyalty that I show them, and I definitely appreciate the loyalty they show me.
I want to go back to last year, to maybe a not-so-fond memory. Last year, first round of the playoffs, you guys get bumped by Chapin 17-14 in a real tight one. I know that has got to leave a sour taste in your mouth after what was really an impressive year. How have you guys? Is that still something that stings, that's lingered with your team throughout the offseason?
Well, actually, you know what? About a week ago, I had forgot about it, but since you just brought it up, I guess it's...
My bad. I'm sorry, Coach.
I guess it's going to sting all the way back home now. You know, it happens. I think we're a young team, and I think sometimes you need those kind of things to happen. You know, nobody likes to lose, mm-hmm. but sometimes you need those things for the young guys to learn. And if you can learn from those losses, it'll always pay off down the road or in the future. And so that's what we're really looking forward to. I think we have a great team coming back, and we had a lot of young guys that started for us last year, and now they'll be our veteran guys. So we really look forward to putting a great product out on the field this year.
We're talking with Jesse Perales, the head coach of the El Paso Del Valle Conquistadors here on DCTF Live. Get involved with the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, I want to give you an opportunity to brag on some of your players. I mean, look, the headliner for your team, if anybody knows a guy on your team, it's Raymond Montes, who was such a breakout star for you guys last year. Still just going to be a junior. As the guy who gets to see him every day, what is it about Raymond Montes that makes him so special?
Well, he just has a lot of moxie. Mm-hmm. I mean, he works extremely hard. He's got all the tools. We're hoping that he hits a little growth spurt here pretty soon, but he comes from great bloodline. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We want the ball in his hands all the time. He loves pressure. He's a state qualifying wrestler, so he's really, really tough. And I think all the guys love him because of his toughness. And so we know that we're going to go as far as he takes us. And so we're really excited about him and his hard work. He works hard. So we're looking forward to seeing him in action this year for sure, as is everybody else. Yeah,
I imagine, as you mentioned, you want to get him the ball in his hands very often. And, that's one thing that in talking with coaches around El Paso, one thing that's really interesting to me that strikes me as particularly unique about El Paso is that everyone there is so well coached, and there's such great depth of coaching out there, and sometimes it just seems like if you have that one guy, he can take over a game and be the difference. It seems like you might have that in your quarterback Montes.
Well, I certainly hope so, and you're right. And sometimes one guy is that difference maker, and as you know, we're not loaded with Division I talent out in El Paso, but if we can get a couple guys to just play together and that one Division I guy, I think we always have a chance to really make some noise and break down some of these barriers.
Coach, another Montes you had that was pretty good, Steven, obviously blew everyone away last fall with his performance at Colorado. You guys do know a little something about producing quarterbacks that go on to do bigger and better things. How much fun was it for you to watch Steven last year emerge as such a huge player in the Pac-12 and nationally as a quarterback?
You know what? It was unbelievable. To be sitting in the stands at a few of his games and saying, hey, that's our quarterback, and reading all the articles and all the publicity he's getting, and I would tell everybody, I saw that every day. I got the opportunity to see him do that every single day, and I was more impressed every day. And then, now that he's been coming home and hanging out with us and working out with us, it's amazing to watch. And, it's just a big plus for Del Valle because our kids get to see him work hard and do all that stuff. And, of course, his brother does too. So we love the fact that he gets to come back and say he's from Del Valle. And, he's got a lot of records in the history book there at Del Valle, and we sure hope his brother can break every single one of them and add a couple new ones to it as well.
Coach, you're way too humble. I'll tell you that if we bring up a star quarterback to somebody who's doing big things in college, a lot of coaches would just say, yeah, that's all me. He got there because of me. You're not going to take any credit for Steven Montes' breakout success?
You know what? I'll take – the only credit I could take is helping to make him mentally tough. Mm-hmm. But everything else, he deserves all the credit in the world. He works hard. He's a student of the game. He's tough. He's savvy. He's got skin thicker than a rhino. And, it's tough being a quarterback. That position is the most criticized position there is, but he never let that bother him. And his brother, and Raymond has it even tougher because, of course, you're going to get the comparisons, and Raymond doesn't let that bother him at all. He just plays his game, and that's what we love. But we work on that mental toughness every day because we pride ourselves on discipline and mental toughness, as I'm sure many people do. But in far west Texas, you really have to be mentally tough to survive out there.
Yeah, you absolutely do. And one of the places that your toughness really stands out and always has over your career there at Del Valle has been defensively. I feel like it's fun to talk about, the Montes brothers and how great they've been and all the playmakers you've been able to coach. But for me, your teams have always started defensively.
Right.
And it's always started with, all right, if the offense may not show up, and that's okay. We're willing to win a game 2-0 if we need to. What is it about? Give us a little bit of a scouting report about this upcoming defense in 2017. I know you've got some guys like Oscar Rodriguez you're very excited about. What can we expect from the Conquistadors defense?
Same thing. I mean, we have the same defensive coordinator. We started there together, and we share the same philosophy. Of course, we're going to get the 5 best athletes minus the quarterback, and we're going to put them on defense. And then we're going to harp toughness every day. And we're going to, we want to be aggressive. We want to get after. We want to run to the ball. And I think that we've been able to accomplish that over the long haul. But really, I got to give credit to the coaches and the players. They've just bought into our system and what we do. And that's really what it comes down to. Nobody wants to be the bad defense at Del Valle, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Because we've had a history of doing things right, and I think it pays off. Defense wins championships.
And I want to ask you about your district. The thing that always strikes me about a district like 2-5A is, first of all, it's deep. I feel like there's at least 4, maybe 5, even upwards of 6, depending on what you think maybe of Hanks, of really quality teams in this district. Canutillo is the team that I think from a statewide perspective people know from their run back in 2014. But
Sure.
for you, like when you take a look at 2-5A for this upcoming season, what are you seeing from your perspective?
I agree with everything you said. It's tough, almost from top to bottom. But the top five or six teams, they all got great coaching and some great athletes. I think, of course, Eastlake is very diverse. In Parkland, they have one of the best tailbacks in the state. And then you've got Bel Air, who's got a lot of size, and they haven't been able to put it together. But when they do put it together, man, they're really good. And so them, and then, of course, Del Valle. Del Valle is going to be very consistent, hopefully, and, do what we do. But there are some good teams. I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to see what Hanks is going to do with Coach Price over there. Coach Price over there with them now, and I think they'll be better. And so, it's the district's tough. Every week is a good one. Canutillo is just so much like us. I mean, they're so hard-nosed and tough. They don't throw the ball a lot, but defensively they bring it. Whether you're up by 20 or 40 or down by 40, they're still going to come at you every single play. I really enjoy playing against Canutillo. I really have. My entire career, our teams have just battled it out, with the exception of this past year. I mean, we've always had some really tight games, but this year, for whatever reason, we didn't. But hopefully this coming year, maybe we can make it more interesting.
We're talking with Jesse Perales, the head coach of the El Paso Del Valle Conquistadors here on DCTF Live. Get involved in the conversation, hashtag DCTF Live. Coach, I got to ask you one more question before we let you get back to more important things. But Matt Stepp, DCTF High School Football Insider, claims, and this is a big claim coming from him. He claims that Del Valle has the best press box spread.
Oh, that's true.
In the state. In the
You know
state.
what?
Will you confirm this?
I will 100% confirm that.
Okay.
And I will also tell you that everybody in the state gets to enjoy it, minus me. I've never been able to get a our student activities director does a phenomenal job of loading up 10 or 11 entrees every Friday night up there. She does a great job, and everybody's up there eating. But I've never been able to get up there. All I do is hear about it from everybody, and I see it, but I never get to, enjoy it. I never have in 15 years. I sure haven't.
Oh man,
but Matt
it's
Stepp is right, and let me tell you something. Matt Stepp knows his food.
Yeah, he does.
He knows his barbecue. He knows his food, and if he's saying it's great, I'm gonna agree 100%.
Right. That's what for me. That's what stood out. Is like, wait a second. Like, if you're saying this, if you're saying that you're going to have that it's the best press box food in the state, that's certainly saying something. It's high praise. So
right.
So big pressure on the Del Valle press box food now.
Yeah.
I mean, now they've gotten the statewide push. We're gonna see what happens.
Well, you guys, you have an open invitation. Anytime you guys want to come down and check out a game and check out the press box, you're more than welcome.
Max? Max, I never need an excuse to go to El Paso.
As long as we can get that expense report cleared, then we'll be out there.
We'll do it. He is Jesse Perales. He's the head coach, the El Paso Del Valle Conquistadors. Follow him on Twitter at CoachPOFOD. Follow him there. Coach, appreciate your time. I know you're busy with family stuff. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time to talk a little Conquistadors football, and best of luck in the 2017 season.
Hey, appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much.